yeah.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello. How is everyone out there doing? Welcome back to another episode of Blame Your Brother. That's right, episode 27, I believe. So we're going to go with that, and we need corrections to be made. We'll do that in the corrections segment. Okay, anyways, there are, Blame Your Brothers, 3 of us that come to you every week. 2 of us are brothers and our longtime friend. I am one of those brothers. I am David, a.k.a. D-Brew, a.k.a. Mr. 40%. Hashtag that man. I am the misogynistic man, and I'm joined every week by the snowflake himself, Mr. Lee.
A.K.A. Happy Pants, A.K.A. the one-man Manilow.
You need to look at your notes for your other AKAs.
And the real Nick Nickum.
A.K.A. Lily Wren, as we said last week.
I can't believe you said you were Magic Man?
Misogynistic man.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's as far.
One snowflake, one misogynistic person, and we're also joined by the man to the right of me. It's Mr. PTI himself, John Tortorello. John.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Not much.
Yeah? You got any AKAs? You got anything you want to?
I got plenty. I got Mr. PTI,
yeah.
the Madman,
yeah.
Tico,
yeah,
and the innovator and the originator of the John Award.
Whoa, what is that? I've never heard of this. All right, anyway. And we have to play the sound clip every week just for you, John. As it loads. And it loads.
They got John Tortorella, a madman.
They do have a madman.
Okay, he's a madman.
All right, there you go. I'm curious about these John Awards, but we'll get to that in a minute. You can check us out every Friday morning on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn. Every Thursday at Radio Vegas Rocks. That's radiovegas.rocks. If you go there, you can check us out and some other great podcasts as well. It's a great network that we're glad to be part of. And, you guys have been listening, and we enjoy it. Also, if you're awake on Thursday nights, you got nothing better to do, come check us out live on youtube.com/blameyourbrother. We stream the show live. There's video behind us right now. There's a Punxsutawney Phil crowd.
I can't believe they're out this late.
I know, it's amazing, but there's video going, all kinds of great stuff. You got to go to youtube.com/blameyourbrother, get in the live feed, join us, engage with us. We read some of the comments on the show, and we'd love you to come hang out with us and go subscribe to our YouTube while you're there as well. Go to bybpod.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All of our social media is there, and if you're going to buy something through Amazon, use our Amazon affiliate link. It's on the page. All you do is click on it, takes you to Amazon. You make your purchases. Does not cost you a penny more, but we get some of the kickback from Amazon.com. So if you could do that, it would really help the show out. Okay, that's all the plugs for right now. We'll get to some later, but right now we'll go like we do every week. Lee, any apologies you need to make for last week's show?
I don't know. I kind of want to just react to what you have to say first.
Okay. All
I
right,
feel
John.
That's appropriate.
Anything you'd like to apologize for?
Never.
All right. Never? No.
Never.
Past episodes would say otherwise. Yeah. But anyway.
I mean, from this point on.
Okay. From this point on, no apologies.
Never.
Well, let's get to the news. You expect us to talk about Trump, but you know what? I'm just burned out on Trump. I'm done talking about Trump for this week. I'm done.
Take a break from DJ.
It's just too much. It's too much. Like I said, you could just pick any week and just talk about the guy for an hour, or you could not talk about him for an hour. So let's get to some serious side news real quick. In Nashville today, I think a lot of us take for granted
our police
departments, or our police officers, and today, unfortunately, a police officer actually was killed or passed away while on duty. He was trying to save a suicidal woman, and she was going to, apparently she'd driven a car down to the Cumberland River. She was going to jump into the river. A relative called and said, she's having suicidal thoughts. And so this officer was dispatched along with 2 other officers, and she went into the river, which was about 15 feet deep, and she ended up washing actually to the shore. Well, he didn't make it, and divers found his body about an hour or so later, and
it was about 70 feet off of the.
Yeah, so he passed away. It was Officer Eric Mamau, I think. I used to work for the police department, and he was an 18-year veteran. I started about 18 years ago, and when I saw this story developing, I mean, I was a little bit worried. I thought it, I thought it was somebody I might know personally. I mean, I know a lot of officers that started around that time, so I was definitely paying attention on social media. That's one good thing social media is good for, is keeping you afloat. And, I don't know. It's just sad. It's just sad. Straight. I really don't have much to say. Prayers and thoughts go out to his family, his loved ones, other officers that are with him. Actually, a friend of mine and my wife's actually knew him and served with him. And one of the pictures they put out where he won an award, actually that friend's in the picture with him. So, yeah, thoughts and prayers out to him. And just, I know his past couple of years, a lot of people think cops are the worst and, they're bad and they're wicked. But, it's, things like these that kind of remind us that they are here to serve and protect us. And 99% of them are good people, just like anything else. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's about it. You got any thoughts to add to that? Are we good?
I heard something pretty interesting on the radio today about this incident, and I heard like there was only 2 cops have died in the line of duty in 10 years, I think.
Yeah, I think
Something
so.
like that.
In Nashville, I think
That
so.
to me, right, obviously in Metro.
And I don't think they were gunfire, either of them. The last lady that died actually got hit by a semi or a truck on the interstate.
On account of the move over laws.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I thought that was kind of a good.
yeah, I mean,
Good stat.
I was there when the last one was actually shot. I just started at the police department
Last one was shot.
and killed.
What?
He's talking about the
When
one that
was
was
that?
shot.
This was I started in 95, so this would be 95, 96. He was trying to serve a warrant on someone and went into the upstairs attic and got shot and killed while on duty. So
That's kind of scary. I've actually served warrants in an attic before.
what are you talking about?
Did like a ride along.
Oh, you went with the officer
Yeah,
inside?
and we went upstairs into an attic, and I was like, "What if someone's up there hiding?" I don't know. But I guess that's if you're a cop, it's just something you have to do.
It's every day.
Yeah.
You probably don't expect to go out like this. I mean, it's just, and the woman probably is going to be charged criminally, which.
It seems like she already had a record
And she was
before this.
been drinking.
Oh, okay. Well,
heavily.
So
But you talked about the guy that jumped in and tried to save him?
yeah.
Yeah.
Officer Diamond, who.
It's got to be hard, man.
Yeah. I mean,
he
it's
said
kinda-
this report said that he actually had a hand on him,
Oh,
but he just
What?
couldn't hold on.
I don't
That's
know.
rough.
So it's got to be pretty tragic for him as well.
Well, I hope he gets some time off to kind of.
Yeah, they let
Relax.
actually a lot of his colleagues off tonight, and other people.
I hope they
went
get
work
more
for
than
him.
just one night off.
Well, I'm sure they will. It's tough. So, and I just want to, somber notes start the show. But let's start. So, our thoughts and prayers go out with him. But today was Groundhog's Day, and I've never asked your thoughts on the Groundhog Day. So we'll definitely
Captivating.
Punxsutawney Phil. Well, this is a tradition in America for a long time now. So Punxsutawney Phil came out, and Lee, do you know
Yes, I do. I was there.
what happened? Okay.
Spoiler alert. Saw the
Okay.
shadow.
He said, "What does that mean for us?"
6 more weeks of winter.
Right. So, what do you think of Groundhog's Day in general, Lee?
I mean, it's fun. Whatever, you know.
You don't
Bunch
think
of
animals
crazy old kooky guys trapping up a groundhog and.
no animals mistreated? Does PETA need to come
Oh,
in?
man, I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, I'm asking your opinion on it.
I think if we all trapped groundhogs, it would be a bigger concern.
Okay.
But I think if just one person does it, I mean, come on. I mean, I also don't mind zoos. I think zoos are kind of interesting. So I think it just depends on the context. I don't know. It seems like they're really into that groundhog, and they probably treat them really, really well.
They probably do.
So
I would imagine, yes.
So I mean,
okay. Well,
would the
John,
groundhog choose to be cooped up? And I don't. Maybe.
who knows? I mean, if
I mean, that's the question. I mean, is he just in his cage for the rest of the year, or is he in a pen or something? Or I mean,
that's a good question. I have no idea. I imagine Phil's living a pretty good life, though. Probably better than us. What's funny is, so this meme started circling so the results came out. So saw the shadow 6 more months of winter. Well, the internet meme came out today that we retweeted on the page, and it basically said, it says, breaking news. Protests continue over Groundhog's decision. # not my groundhog. And I thought that was funny.
That's just a joke.
Which will no, it is. It's a meme. Of course, it's a
not
joke.
even a meme.
Wait.
It is an internet meme.
You mean they didn't protest?
Yeah, they didn't protest. But that does lead us to the protests that are happening in this country. And Lee, one of your good buddies, was at one of the protests this past week. Is it fair to call him your good buddy?
I mean, that's kind of a trucker term, but sure.
Is he your friend? Would you consider Casey Brewer a friend of yours?
Yes.
Okay, good. That was kind of a hesitant.
Sorry,
That was a pause.
I'm looking at Twitter.
He's been in his home.
I'm looking at not my groundhog.
Okay.
I'm hoping nothing offensive shows up.
Hopefully not. There we go. That's it right there. So, anyways, there was a big protest.
It's kind of offensive.
There was a big protest this week at the state capitol at the Legislative Plaza when Mr. Haslam gave his speech, his State of the State speech, which sounds kind of weird, State of the State speech. But anyway, and a number of protesters showed up to let someone know that we are watching. And that was the chant heard round the room, we are watching, whatever.
Kind of reminds me of high school.
It kind of looked like high school. But anyway.
Who watches The Watchmen?
Yeah. So, so anyways, that's... You know, we had this debate before the show started. We had a conversation about what are the protests here? What are they trying to accomplish? You guys kind of had your own opinions about it. Do you think, we'll get into a couple of tangents here. Do you think the protests are effective in any manner? I'll start with John. John, are these people showing up to protest the State of the State Union from Governor Haslam? Do you think there's any effectiveness to these protests?
I don't because, I mean, what are they watching? I mean, I don't know.
They're watching. I guess they're watching his every move. Is what they're saying. Do you think this will influence him or any of his policies at all? Them being there.
No.
Okay. Lee, do you think there's any power to the protest? Do you think there's any change going to come out of it? Without a doubt. You think Governor Haslam will see these protests and change the way he's viewed the world for the last 50 years of his life? He's going to.
I mean, you're making assumptions there.
But
yeah, if enough people
he's
come out.
He's not making anything.
Sure.
He's asking a question.
Yeah, I'm asking a question, my friend. What's the assumption I just made? I ask you, will they change a person's opinion?
I mean, there was one instance where was it Haslam? I'm sorry for being ignorant. I did read a story where they did do a protest, and then like the next day I saw a news article where the guy was like saying that things needed to change, which was interesting because he was, I think he was conservative type. So that alone. But yeah, if enough people come out, sure.
So what do you think? What do you think they're trying to accomplish through these I mean, I don't know. I mean,
when you feel like your voice is not being heard,
it's
a way to get your voice heard.
So the people that live in Nashville appoint the mayor, their representatives, but they understand that they're part of a larger collective that votes in as a state the governor. They understand this is my problem with hashtag not my groundhog, kind of joking into hashtag not my president. You must understand that there's a system in place that we've been using for a long time. It seems to have worked so far. I mean, I don't know that anyone's, I guess the losers always complain about the way the game goes, but they understand that this is who we as the state has put into office.
So we should just accept whatever the guy says.
When I look at the angle of this, where were these protests at 4 years ago? Where were these protests at 8 years ago?
What were they protesting 4 and 8 years ago?
The presidency.
What are you talking?
When Obama
Nobody had a problem with Obama being president.
There's plenty of people that had problems.
No one had a problem with.
Nobody had a problem except.
You're joking, right? When you say
except the people who didn't like him because he was black. Yeah, they're not going to go protest. Actually, they do.
What?
At the KKK rallies.
Here we go. Okay.
So anyone that did not vote for President Obama has a problem with a black president.
I didn't say that.
That's heavily what you just
pretty
implied.
much-
That's not what I implied at all.
Okay, so
I said there wasn't protest because
Why not?
people weren't that upset that Obama was president.
no, people were very upset.
Were they? Why?
There's a difference between
Why were they so upset?
not being upset and not accepting.
What you don't
reality.
seem to understand is that you said you didn't even, you said you had the Trump fatigue and you didn't want to talk about it, but here we are.
I know. I'm talking
People-
locally.
This
Locally.
guy
We're
is
talking about
so.
protests.
The people are protesting because of Donald Trump. Let's be honest here.
Right. We know that.
So the reason that people are protesting is this guy is
Okay.
radical.
Hold on. I want you to take
way
it.
more radical than
I want you to
Bush,
take it back.
George W. Bush. Way more radical than Obama was. This dude is doing things that are unprecedented in the history of the United States of America, and a lot of
They're
people.
calling you out big time in the chat, by the way.
What?
Big time.
That's fine. They weren't accepting protests. They weren't accepting.
weren't accepting
but were
Obama,
they protesting?
BS Lee.
So you're telling me Obama was more controversial than Donald Trump?
I think the right is less hesitant to do these type of things, whether you
Okay,
agree
let's
with
just
it or
assume
not.
that's the case. You're telling me that Obama was equally as obtrusive as Donald Trump
To the right, yes.
to the right.
With his policies
Why?
of
What policies?
now, if we're going to go with the right-wing constituents, I'm not speaking for me. I'm speaking for the right-wingers like that follow Hannity and
Okay.
Rush Limbaugh and all those. This guy pretty much made the pathway for gay marriage to be legal, accepted as a federal law, right?
Okay, great.
Okay.
No problem.
Uh,
Extending the freedom and rights of other individuals
no,
in America.
No,
Great.
I didn't
okay.
say, Lee, I didn't say to you. You said who was upset about this. I'm telling you who was upset. The Christian right base was upset about gay marriage, his stance on abortion, his stance on and then the conservatives about Plumber Joe having.
No. Now, the first 2 points I would say, okay.
Okay.
BS that doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with politics.
Obamacare.
Obamacare.
They
Come
weren't
on,
happy.
man. Obamacare was driven mostly by the Republicans,
Funding Planned Parenthood.
which is a great thing. Like who
Lee, I'm
doesn't
not
want...
asking. Lee, I'm not asking for your
But
personal
that's my
opinion.
point.
You asked me.
You're talking about things that nobody really cares about at the end of the day. Like you have to stretch. If you're saying like Planned Parenthood shouldn't be funded, you're stretching to find something wrong with someone. Donald Trump is doing things like calling up our Australian allies and saying you're an idiot and then hanging up the phone on them. Right? I mean, like Donald Trump
you've
is like
heard him doing that?
is like tweeting out at like midnight like crazy stuff. Donald Trump is wanting to build a wall between us and Mexico. Like those are very like Donald Trump is not a typical politician. Obama was. Like all the things that you're saying are all platform politics, okay? That's my point.
Lee, everything Trump is doing is platform politics.
No.
Yes, to the right.
Okay, everything that he's done so far is pretty much stuff that he said he was going to do before he was elected.
I disagree with that, but whatever. Like, okay, appointing Steve Bannon
Okay,
to the National
everything
Security
you
Council.
Just said that he's
not
been
actually
doing
being
is
president.
stuff that he said he was gonna do
You can't knock the. I mean, most of the stuff he's doing, he did tell you he was going to do. To be fair,
before he was elected.
whether you agree with it or not, knock the man, knock his policies. But anyways, that's beside
I mean,
the
if you
point.
don't understand why Donald Trump is so different
Because
than all the other presidents before him, then you're not going to understand
I'm
why
not
people are
disagreeing.
protesting.
I'm
We
not
didn't
disagreeing
say-
that he's
No,
not
we
That's
different.
why people are protesting.
Because of something
You're
different.
trying to go back and say people didn't
That's
protest
why he got
for
elected
Obama.
in the first place, because he's different.
Boom.
People were
That's
voting
correct.
for a change.
Okay, look. But what I'm saying, if Obama had been as radical as Donald Trump would have been, those people would have been
What is so
protesting.
radical about the man at this point? Tell me a radical policy he has.
I mean, say what you will about the man, good, bad. He is not a typical president.
But that doesn't make
that's ever
him
been.
radical. What is a
That
radical?
is the very definition of radical. Completely different
You
than
mean-
everything that's
you mean-
come before.
What, like such as what? What's something he's passed that is different than what's done before? What is something he's done that has never been done before? You cannot name something that's never been done before. Gay marriage was not a federal mandate before Obama got off. That is
I
the
thought
most.
we already agreed that he's different. Like I don't know why I'm having to explain this to you because we already agreed.
No,
He
you
is
say
like
radical.
No other. Okay, let's go back and use another word.
Okay.
He is.
Polarizing.
I mean, obviously Obama was polarizing.
Okay.
So I don't think that's fair.
So I'm just wondering why.
As far as presidents are concerned, he is radical than every other president that's come before him.
I'm just wondering why the protests are happening now.
Because he is a radical president. People are threatened that he is going to do crazy things.
They should have been threatened in October.
That's fine. They should have been. That doesn't mean that they can't protest now.
No, that's fair enough. I was just wondering why they're protesting. I mean, but anyway,
Okay, you want to know why they're protesting? It's
Sure.
because they're threatened.
they're afraid.
They're threatened.
They're afraid.
They understand that after he's done picking off the weak, that they're going to come for everyone else. They understand
That's their
that.
mindset.
If you're not white, rich, and wealthy, eventually Donald Trump will not be for you. It may take 8 years.
You believe this, or this is what they
I
believe?
know it to be true.
Oh, so you do
in
believe
my
it.
heart.
Okay.
I know it to be
John,
true.
do you believe any of that to be true?
No, I don't believe that to be true.
I'm just sick of the Nazi comparisons. I'm sick of the.
Why?
I think if Trump ended up being the best president that we have ever had in the last 4 years, there'd be the same people complaining and protesting.
I
at the end of
agree
those
with
4
you
years.
100%. And here's why: because the best is vague. So if best is being a racist, anti-Muslim, securing the borders against
How is he
people coming into
anti-Muslim?
this
I'm
country,
saying at the
that's
end
what
of 4 years.
that's what the protesters are
I'm
saying. I can
saying-
explain it to you if you want, but
I'm saying at the end of 4 years, if we have a better economy, the deficit has decreased quite a bit, and if the employment rate has just blossomed and just everything has gone good for our country, in 4 years, those same people that are protesting will still be saying, "Not my president."
okay, that's fine. But you have to understand something here. Okay, there are costs. Like if you're saying, if your bullet points are whatever you just said, at any cost, like at any cost, then that's problematic, because I think there's certain liberties, there's certain concepts that we shouldn't give up. We shouldn't say we should look at our neighbor and build a wall and just leave them to starve and die, and whatever happens to them at any cost is okay as long as we're prosperous, especially if you're a Christian, because that's not a Christian precept at all. And that's what you realize that's what he's doing. That's first off. And second off, it's not going to end that way. It's going to end in war. Steve Bannon's already come out and said we're going to be at war with China in 4 years. And they're already setting it up. Mark,
this is true. This is a quote.
We can't have it both ways.
Wait, wait, no, whoa,
quote.
whoa.
It's not a quote.
Is it something he actually said, though?
If
Steve
you-
Bannon said publicly that we will be at war with China for
They've already started the chest beating
Lee,
with Iran
you just-
today.
no, Lee.
They've already said.
Lee, I want you to clarify what you just said on microphone. You said Steve Bannon said we will be at war with China in 4 years. I want that clarified right now.
I'm not saying it's a quote, but yeah.
No. I didn't say quote. Just saying it. I need it. I need the record of him coming out and saying this. Am I crazy about Steve Bannon?
You realize
Am I
Steve
crazy
Bannon
about-
is the president right now.
Am I crazy about Steve Bannon? No. Am I crazy about the ban of the refugees?
Is
No.
the Guardian reputable? I don't know.
It's liberal, but yeah, I'll go with it. What does he say? So it said only
Only a month. Yeah, I mean he's predicting it.
Steve Bannon is predicting it.
Steve Bannon is the president right
okay,
now.
well,
Let's
Steve-
not cut hairs about it,
All right.
okay?
No, he's very influential. Yes, I
He
agree.
is the president.
And do I have problems with Steve Bannon, the man? Yes.
Well,
I
that's
have
what
no-
I'm saying. Like, that's why people are protesting, David. I mean, you only have to look at as far as your own brain.
I didn't disagree. I just wanted to know what you thought, or what John thought, or what we think. I think what we're doing now is that you're either protesting in the streets, and if you're not protesting, then those protesters say, "Oh, well, you support the guy." Like there's no free thinking movement anymore where you can sit back and go, "Well, I like what he did here, but I don't like what he did here." Nope, you like him. You like everything he does. You're a Nazi yourself.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like how. Okay, going back to what I was saying with John's point. At what point do you sacrifice? It's like, okay, well, he's only kind of racist, so
I don't think he's racist.
No,
at
I'm
all.
not saying him.
No, okay.
I'm just saying,
A
like,
person.
if you know someone, you're like, well, he's only kind of racist,
Right.
So that's okay. America is only kind of racist, so I can deal with that. And that's what the protesters are saying. They don't want to draw the line.
All right.
They don't want to live in a country where gays have to be in the closet again, because they're people too.
Well, I think
We're all
I think
humans.
Donald Trump this week came out and said that was never going to happen. He actually tweeted out,
Right.
But yet,
he did extend the
And- but
Obama
yet-
era LGBT
But you don't hear
protections.
you'll hear that talked about, do you?
But they are getting ready to release the freedom of religion bill. Have you
don't-
heard about this?
No, I don't know anything about
So
it.
freedom of religion basically allows any person to have prejudice based upon religious choice. So if you own a business and you declare this is Christianity based,
Right.
you can refuse to serve people. You can refuse to hire
Well, I'm
people.
fine with that.
Based upon your religion.
A
religious
private
choices.
business should be able to act
This
privately.
but this is, you have to understand, this is not actually a bill of religious freedom.
Lee,
It's actually,
okay.
it's just saying it's okay to be racist.
Well, let me give you
it's
this.
okay to have
Let me give you
prejudice.
this. Yeah, and then a race of people does not have to visit the business, and the business will go under. That's kind of how capitalism works. But if you were a staunch, so I could ask John, but it wouldn't be really a fair question. You're a staunch Christian. I mean, you believe the Word of God is
Right.
as it goes. You believe everything in that book to the T. A gay couple comes in and says, "We're getting married. Make us a cake." I mean, this is a story that happened in
happened,
news. Where do you think? And not Lee. Because I know where we would stand on it. We wouldn't really care. We'd make the cake, take the money, and say, have a good wedding. But what do you think you would say in that instance? Or, John, what would you do in that instance?
I'd make him a cake.
Okay. So your religion wouldn't dictate anything is wrong with that.
No.
Lee, would you?
Of course I wouldn't make him a cake. I would tell him to go someplace else and get a better cake.
Well, Marlon in Half Pint says in the chat, California has had such laws and the right to refuse signs, and businesses have done well.
That's not the point, man. They're going to use this as a ground to discriminate against people. That's the problem.
All right.
Well,
That's
the thing
why-
is,
that's
when
why-
it comes down to it, you can pretty much you can always come up with a reason not to hire somebody or not to do a job.
Well,
for
Tennessee is a
somebody.
right to work state, so that's
Right.
In Tennessee, you can fire anyone you want at any time.
Yeah, pretty much for anything you want. Yeah. Anyway.
But that's where the Nazism comes in. That's why people say Nazism, because when you start establishing things that give you the legal right to discriminate someone based upon the color of their skin or their sexual identity or something that they were not, like you often bring up, born into, that's problematic. That gives them legal rights to legally discriminate
I
against
got you. I got you.
That's trouble. That's troubling to
Yeah,
me.
that is troubling.
It's troubling.
But let's go back to the protesters.
Okay,
Just got to
protesting.
get this. One of the representatives or the senators said he believes that a number of these protesters were paid off. They were paid to be there.
Some probably were.
But the Nashville scene put out a tweet and said,
I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know if I did either, but the Nashville scene put out a tweet and said, if you were paid to be there, step up. And of course, no one did. I mean, because if they paid us, I wouldn't come out and say it. I don't want to get paid at the next protest. But anyways, your boy Casey was going on there and tweeting at people, just saying, no.
I did want to ask you if you saw what he said.
Yeah, I saw what he was saying.
specifically.
He was tweeting at the vice president, and I always find it funny when people tweet at celebrities of that status. Like, yeah, dude, hey,
Like they're going to respond
yeah.
to you specifically.
No, they're not going to.
They might,
The
you never
vice
know.
president has never even checked that Twitter account. I guarantee you.
But the POTUS has, right? He's up at like 3 o'clock
Well,
in
he
the morning
does. I
doing
mean,
a line of coke.
You're right. You might get a response from him, but he was tweeting at people saying, "Oh, no one was paid," and where they probably, I don't know. Those people seem pretty dedicated, and I hope whatever they're hoping to accomplish. I don't have a problem with peaceful protest. I mean, it's the basis of what the country is founded on. I'm not going to be out there with you because I don't agree with it. But what was funny is they were protesting the two senators about the Muslim ban, quote unquote, and they were like, "Yeah, you better." And our two representatives go, "Oh, we're against it." Well, then what are you out there protesting for? They stand for the same things you do, So I couldn't quite understand that either. But anyway,
So Casey, are we putting Casey on notice?
Casey
Is he a snowflake?
I mean, he's a snowflake.
He's
100%.
a snowflake. You're my boy, Casey.
I mean, he had his daughters out there protesting, and if that's how you feel about it, get your kids into it as well. If that's what you want to do, go for it.
I mean, did your children have questions about the presidential
no, not,
election and
they're
stuff?
8. My kid's 8.
I don't know, man. I'm just asking.
My kid's asking me how you score a touchdown in football. He
I feel
wants
like-
to know the rules of football. They know. I mean, I talk to them about the world, but I think these parents go, my kid was crying the day Trump was elected. I just think that's phony baloney. Or
It's
you,
not phony
Or
baloney.
you've incorporated
They
it.
might
if
have
you're
been. They might have been crying, but I don't think it was good.
No, dude, like Hispanic children are worried
Why is that?
because they're afraid their parents or them are going
No,
to get
but why
deported.
is that? But why is that? Because their parents have put that in their head. Lee, were you 8 years old in your life and
Do you
were
not
like
know
watching?
that? Did you not see the notice he put out for illegals?
Well, yeah, you're illegal. You're not supposed to be here.
Okay, but still,
I mean, yeah, if I was a criminal.
Did you see where they had
if I'm a criminal, I'm constantly worried about the police whenever I go somewhere.
Okay.
If I'm driving, okay,
That's
hold on.
fine. That's a good
Wait a
point.
second. If I'm driving, yeah, okay. So if I'm driving around town without a license and I see a cop, what happens? Panic sets in because why? I shouldn't be on those streets. So what all the left is essentially saying is, well, if you're driving around and you're not hurting anyone, what's the big deal?
Yeah, what is the
so
big
what?
deal?
You don't have a license.
The Constitution says that we have a right to unlawful search and seizure. I mean, to not be unlawfully searched and
So
seized.
then,
but anyway, let me.
wait.
I was
Stop
going
right there.
somewhere with this.
Yeah, I'm going somewhere with this. So why should anyone have a driver's license in the state of Tennessee? If you can be here illegally without papers in this country,
if you're breaking the law and you get pulled over, you're going to need that.
but the left is saying these people shouldn't be deported if they're here illegally, then why do we need driver's licenses?
You can't pull over anyone that looks Hispanic
Why?
because you
No,
might think
it's
they
fine.
might be illegal. But if you're like speeding or you're like running people over, then you're going to get pulled over.
If you are working at a job and ICE has a right to come out and check that business to make sure they're not doing anything illegally, and you can't provide papers, you're breaking the law. Just where if there's a DUI checkpoint and I don't have a driver's license and I get pulled over at that checkpoint, which is not really a reasonable search or seizure, guess where I'm going? To jail. So I would say to the left people, if you're out there, let's just abolish driver's licenses. Why not?
Whatever.
Abolish the Social Security
David,
card.
That's a logical connection. Why don't we do that?
Why?
So I have a question for you. Part of this travel ban that he put in place, they were stopping people in airports. I saw a picture of a kid, a small, very small kid in handcuffs.
Okay.
What's your opinion of that?
About kids, I'm a softie. So
well,
no,
that's what I'm saying. These
can't
people,
put kids in
But what I'm
cuffs,
saying
man.
is when you
The thing is-
deport
hold
these
on,
people's
do
kids,
we know that this picture is legit though?
it doesn't matter. When you
I'll play ball.
when
I'll
you
say
deport these people, who do you think are affected the most?
the kids will go to DCS or DHS, or the parents can pick it. Do you want your kids to stay here,
I
or do
thought
you
you were a
want?
softie about kids because basically you're just taking
No.
a big stinky poo on the kids.
If I
Ace,
can't-
you asked what would happen to the kids.
If
He's saying
if I came here illegally with my children, and I was deported, I guess my kids would go back with me because I love my children more than I love anything in life. So no, I
well,
wouldn't.
you obviously would not illegally jump the wall.
No, I
and
wouldn't.
come
No,
into
you're right.
America.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't look for a better. I mean, it's obvious that you would not look to better your life.
No, I would
by
co-
any means.
I would come here
possible.
the right way, like millions of people do every
You
year.
would sit there and suffer through anything.
No,
we got it.
I would come here
Okay, we
legally,
got it.
like millions of people do.
You wouldn't protest. You would just sit there and take your elected representatives in anything that they would spoon feed you. We know.
Have you ever
okay?
protested, my friend?
Yes.
Yeah,
all the
you did?
time.
When did you
all
protest?
the time.
When did you? The thing about this show is the truth. When did you protest?
I'm
my
a
friend?
social media warrior, man. I protest
when did you-
online
you've
all the time.
So you've never protested yourself.
I mean, I've never picked up a sign and
Thank you.
marched.
Okay.
No.
So anyway, that's
But
what I thought. I thought you had. And I know you had. So what's your point? You pointing your finger pointer like you've been out. You disagree with these people more than I do.
the funniest thing is at this point in time, I just laugh because I remember a time where Lee has worn a shirt that said "Friends don't lit, friends vote Democrat."
That's true. I love the chat though. Blowing up Lee, left it like landmines for Lee over here. It's great. It's fantastic.
That's fine. I got it, man. I'm the one liberal in the
You need
in
to
the
go
group. Okay?
YouTube.com/blame your brother. Come in here and get involved. But anyway, okay. So yeah, this guy paid protest. That is kind of a joke, but yeah, man, get involved. Do what you got to do. Okay, let's get to some animal news. I think we got some animal stories, don't we?
Woo! Hot take, baby.
So Punxsutawney Phil. We got to calm it down after that. We can
Calm it down.
We can keep going.
It's okay, guys. It's nothing personal.
It's all personal.
I don't hate people because of their ideas. Like, if you love Donald Trump, that's really great that democracy works and that we can elect someone that we don't
All right,
agree
so
with and that we can have peaceful protests.
All right, so
really what we need to do is come together at the end of the day, right? Come
all right, so
together.
you know my opinion on neck tattoos. Hate them. You know my opinion on shorts. Adults wearing shorts. Hate it.
And women doing manual labor.
Women cutting the grass. Not a big fan. There's another thing you can add on the list here. Gauge earrings. The worst. The worst. Does anyone actually like the gauge, like the big?
Lots of people like them.
Do you like them?
I'm not a fan.
Okay, John.
Me personally,
Definitely not a fan.
It is the worst look. Neck tattoo plus ear gauge, bad times. But anyway,
We should build a wall around those people.
because look, I mean, tattoos are great. I don't have a tattoo, but I think tattoos look amazing on people. I do. I think they're great. They're fantastic.
Just not on the neck.
Not on the neck. If you're an art here, let me say this: if you're going to enter the corporate world or work a 9 to 5, you can't have a neck tattoo. If you're going to be an artist, that's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I'm saying don't expect to show up to a job interview for a cubicle job with a neck tattoo and then be upset when they don't hire you because of the neck tattoo. Right? I mean, am I crazy for thinking that?
No, I get it. Spot on,
Okay,
man.
thank you. I mean, like I said, if you're an artist and you're going to be an artist your whole life, knock yourself out. I don't really care, you know. It might be part of your appeal if you're a rocker. Okay. But anyway, this woman out of somewhere, I don't really know, Lee's got the story pulled up, had a pet snake, had some tattoos, had a big gauge. I don't know how the gauges work, but it's bigger than a quarter, I would imagine, in her ear. And her pet snake somehow climbed through the gauge in her ear and got stuck, and she had to go to the hospital and get it removed. John, I wish this was a Dear John.
This has got to be fake
Dear
news,
John.
right?
No, it's real news.
This has to be fake
It's verified.
news.
I mean,
Ugh.
Ashley Glaw, go up.
What
a
did
little.
she like fall asleep and it
Said
crawled in there?
she shared the story during a recent trip to the hospital. Have her snake extracted from her earlobe. I was holding my snake, and his dumbass saw a hole, which just happened to be my effing earlobe, and thought he would crawl through it, and then it was stuck. So, why do people get those earlobes? Like, why do they get those gauges in their ear?
I mean,
Lee?
you're never going to understand it, man. It's
No,
just
I don't
fashionable to
understand.
them. It's just like wearing shorts or neck tattoo. They think it's cool looking, I guess.
That's a pretty weird story. But then we go from punk
It's a
rocker.
cultural thing. I know you don't like other people's cultures, but it's
I
just
love
a
other
cultural,
people's cultures.
No, I mean, you don't really. Not if it doesn't jive with your experience.
Because I don't want to do it, and I don't want it done.
Right. And for that, you poo-poo on anyone else that
So
wants that.
So you knock John's culture all the time,
No,
his
I
religion.
Don't. No, I don't.
John,
How do I knock it?
Please tell the truth on microphone right now. Does he knock your religion, yes or no?
He does.
Constantly.
I mean, I
that not
engage in conversation
No,
about him. I
Lee.
mean, I don't think John Smith was
Lee.
Joseph Smith,
Lee,
whatever.
You insult the man's religion, okay?
How? How do I insult his religion?
You call him an idiot. Anybody who believes in that's an
No.
idiot. Oh, John, please. The mic's yours.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, whatever.
So-
Sure. What else you want to put in my mouth?
I'm not putting it in your
Yes,
mouth.
you are.
said it.
I'm sitting here and I said no.
You've never said that to
No,
John.
I have not. I said that I don't believe that Joseph Smith
Multiple
found golden
education.
tablets.
He's saying you said it multiple times, Lee.
Okay, well, we'll just. What do you want me to say?
Two versus
So
one.
who do you believe, John or me?
anyway,
So obviously you believe
so
John.
You're,
Okay, great.
So here's what I love about the left. Another thing, they're so accepting of other cultures unless it's Christianity or some derivative of the Christian religion. Then it's witchcraft, and those people should be taken out of the country for the most part. I've never understood how that quite works. I've never understood that Muslims
They're
good.
extremely tolerant, except for when it
I
comes.
mean,
to
y'all are
religion.
labeling people just
No,
completely inaccurately. Like
Mu-
you're saying, like every single person has even slightly liberal leanings says this, and it's totally not true.
The majority, yes.
It's totally not true.
Muslims, great. When you go to Middle East, when you go to the countries where their women are abused, can't speak up for themselves, or worse, are forced to cover themselves, but they're for
But
that.
Don't even say that's not even close to accurate.
That's
man.
not true.
No.
In the Middle East, that's not true.
No, I'm just saying, like what you're
gay
saying is
people are
not true.
Gay people are not stoned to death in the Middle East and Muslim countries, which is your statement right now you want to make on this
Yes,
show.
every woman is stoned to death in
I
the
said
Middle
gay
East.
people.
Every woman and gay person is stoned to death.
If you don't believe that, you're a fool. I will say you're a
Yes,
fool.
dude, people are stoned in the Middle East.
Are people
in this
stoned?
America, people were cult and shot in Waco and stuff like that. There are radicals
Are people
everywhere.
stoned in America today that you're aware of for being a woman or being gay? Are people stoned out in the streets and it's accepted? So
Not
anyways,
that I'm
I ju-
aware
I
of,
just-
but yes, I'm sure people have
No.
thrown rocks at gay people.
Well-
there's been people murdered because they're gay. in America.
Stoned means murdered, my friend. It does not mean a rock was thrown at people. Anyway, I find it so funny, though, that Christianity is the one thing they can't be tolerant of. I've always thought that's so weird about it. And
David, you're not representing these people accurately. I'm not talking about the Muslims. I'm talking about you're saying if you're even slightly liberal, you hate Christians and love Muslims.
Lee,
That's a ridiculous
John,
statement.
am I off base here?
That's just way
am
too
I off
much.
base?
I wouldn't say the majority of people
way
are like
too
that, but there are
sweeping.
quite a bit of people that are.
That's way too sweeping.
Well, we're
that's
talking
like saying
in-
every conservative is a racist.
It's the problem.
That's
is
honestly not true.
It's the ones that are grabbing the microphones and the ones that are grabbing the
Lee,
signs.
you just said about 15 minutes ago that the people that were most upset with Obama were racist at the beginning of the election.
Yes, the most upset people hated black people and hated to see a black person as president. Those were the most upset people. I didn't say they were coming out in drones. I just said those were the most upset people.
Okay.
I mentioned a KKK rally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, they're in a
Well, they're
KKK
already-
rally.
Okay. So anyway, I don't know where we went with that. All the Muslims. Yeah. So anyway, so
It's just you can't like. We should look at people as individuals. What is their individual opinion?
Lee, we're on a show where we're talking in general terms all the
then
time.
I'm not going to sit here and listen to you accuse everyone that has slightly non-conservative leanings of hating Christians
not gonna let you
and
say-
loving Muslims.
I'm not
That's a
gonna-
ridiculous statement.
I'm not gonna let you
You're
say-
basically Bret Bart
Okay.
at that point.
Lee, you do it then. I'm talking about Lee, you specifically crap on this man's religion.
I do engage in him in conversations, and I did say I found it hard to believe, and like it was pretty much a lie that Joseph Smith found golden tablets in the woods.
Okay.
That's all. That's all I said.
No, you said more than that. But
I
it
mean, we
wasn't
had a
recorded-
long conversation about it, and I actually was very interested to hear about what does the Mormon believe that heaven is a physical place, and we were talking about the Matrix revolution, and like early in one of the episodes we were going on about simulation theory. So I thought it was very interesting to get a religious perspective, and yeah, maybe it got a little heated, but I mean
And maybe you said the word idiot a couple of times. Because
I
that
mean-
was a running joke around here for a
I
couple
call
of weeks.
people idiots.
Okay.
Okay, you're not an idiot.
Anyway, moving
because
on.
you're a Mormon. Okay.
Coyotes attacking hipsters in East Nashville. Did you know that did you guys know you can have chickens in the city of Nashville?
I did.
I did know that.
Okay, I did not know that. And then coyotes apparently are traveling in East Nashville. They're hanging out at the 5 spot and then going out after they drink and going to attack chickens in chicken coops. Lee, you were going to educate us about the coyotes.
There's been
Tell us.
coyote sightings in Green Hills. They attack, kill cats. Yes. It doesn't surprise me
Tell
that there's
me,
coyotes.
give me
in
some facts
East
about the
Nashville.
cow. You said I was an idiot before the show started. I was retarded, actually, is what you
I did
said.
not say that.
John, you said
I don't remember.
you
calling
said something along
retarded.
those lines. You said one more. You said if you were any more stupid, you'd be retarded. What you just?
I said if you were any more ignorant.
Oh,
And we
yes.
weren't talking about coyotes.
Yeah, we were.
No, we weren't.
I said yeah. I said I thought coyotes were lone wolves. Is what I said. That's exactly. what, so anyways, tell
Do
us.
you understand what ignorance is?
Tell us what
Do you understand what that
yes,
means?
lack
Okay.
of knowledge.
Okay.
Okay.
So
give
it's
it-
not necessarily a bad thing. It's just you're ignorant.
Yeah, I guess not. Okay, tell us some facts about coyotes real quick.
All right, let me
The
look up the Wikipedia.
How should I
so I don't come across as ignorant.
Let's not even use Google. Tell me, without using Google, how we would defend ourselves against a cow right now if it came
Well,
in that
if
back
you
door.
read the article,
Yes,
which I doubt you did,
I did not. I just looked at this guy and he was
they
amazing.
actually suggest that you go scare off that coyote anytime that he's in the yard.
So we just run at him.
Yes, the coyote is a very scared creature.
That makes sense because, like, when I'm watching TV and I see coyotes on the TV, the Roadrunner comes out and he scares them off. I mean, he's never successful.
There we go.
There
Very good. All right, so I just thought that was a funny story. Hipster gets his chickens attacked by coyote.
Just if you see coyote, run out of your house and go meet me.
There you go.
And
Hand him a latte, and maybe he'll be your friend, and
Yeah.
you can be accepting of his culture. All right, so we're moving on. We got Lee's, your boy, your favorite guy, Mr. Safety Pin himself.
boy,
LeBron James versus Charles Barkley. Real quick, Charles Barkley is pretty much saying LeBron James is a crybaby. He's wanting all the best players where he can. That's the only way he can win a championship. And LeBron James went personal on Charles Barkley and said basically brought up all of his past incidents in his life, how he shoved a cameraman, spit on a fan, was out gambling, how he was a bad guy. He wasn't a role model for kids. And LeBron goes, I am a role model. I'm living my life to be a role model. And generally what I find is if someone's going around telling you they're a role model, they're not a role model. But anyway, so he attacked Charles Barkley on a personal basis and said he's had enough. There's a new sheriff in town.
Oh, God.
And here's what I say. Charles Barkley is he's a paid analyst and a paid talker. He gets paid to be on the microphone. And for LeBron James, why is he even a listening to this rhetoric? Doesn't he have a posse of people around him? Oh, sorry, we said that
no.
word. Does he have a posse of
It's gonna
boys
have
around
apology.
him
Let me
to
write that down.
write that down? He has a posse around him to deflect him from ever hearing these comments. Isn't that the whole point of an
Hold on,
entourage?
I've got a question.
Yeah.
So if Charles Barkley comes into the immediate proximity
Yeah.
of LeBron James, isn't LeBron James still required for that to be a
That's
safe
a safe place. It's kind of weird. I don't know how that works.
I'm
so
confused.
is
This
it?
joke just never gets tired, y'all.
So,
It just,
that's a
it
good
just
one, John.
keeps going
I mean, it's
forever.
It's supposed to be a safe place.
That may be John's crowning moment right there. Someone mark that on the show.
Oh, that's a high crowning moment in life.
I
Someone
thought my
write
crowning
that
moment
down.
was
so we're just going to go down the line.
the TSA call out.
You support Charles Barkley or you support LeBron James? John, based on my recap, who do you support?
It's Charles Barkley's job to
Thank you.
talk. So yeah,
Okay. I say Charles Barkley.
I don't really care.
Pick
man.
a side. Pick a
I
tape
don't
of the
even
t-
this is what I think about LeBron James.
I could care.
I wanna hear what
less.
John thinks.
LeBron James, by making that statement, has become Donald Trump on Twitter.
Oh, he's the opposite side of the coin, Donald Trump. Who would win in a fight? LeBron James, Charles Barkley?
I mean, Charles Barkley's
his
a
heyday?
little over the hill.
Yeah, in their prime. Who would
And
have
they're
won?
probably Charles Barkley's got him.
Okay.
That's probably, well,
He's got
actually,
s-
James Brown is LeBron,
LeBron James,
James
your
is a
boy.
very big.
He's a big
guy.
boy, but he's a crybaby. I mean, I've never seen a player of his kind. Can you think of a dude at the top of his game? I mean, LeBron James is the best player in the NBA. You cannot deny that, okay? Have you ever seen a top player sink to the level of going after – and can you imagine Michael Jordan calling people out on ESPN
I mean,
going
it's a different era, man. There's way more
It's
access.
the era of the crybaby.
right. Era of the crybaby. I like that. Somebody write that down. Era of the crybaby.
So can you just not say anything? Because when
Yes, you let it go.
Because if Charles Barkley wants to say whatever the hell he wants, he's allowed to, and no one
Yes,
calls him
that's
a crybaby.
his job. He is paid to
So
talk
if
on
it's
TV.
if you get paid to talk, you can say whatever the hell you want.
I mean, within reason.
How many people get made fun of on Saturday Night Live and they do not write in or leave a tweet or do whatever?
So Donald Trump's a crybaby.
Oh,
Sure.
100%.
That's-
oh,
that was the
good
point I was
God,
just
yes.
making.
Was Obama a crybaby?
He never know.
No.
Well, that's one reason to protest right there.
He never-
Crybaby in the White House. You obviously hate crybabies so much.
Oh, I do.
That's reason to protest.
Oh, I've said on
Get your
past
signs.
shows.
We going out this weekend,
Lee.
boys. We going out.
I wonder if Lee sits next to me and heard me last week say he needs to stop getting on Twitter. He needs to put down the tweets. He needs to stop addressing comments on Saturday Night Live. I said that on the show. Okay. Anyways, so, okay. Is that all the topics we got? We're going to go to Dear John. We got some emails. Did some emails come in for John?
I think we got a yeah. I
All right.
think we
so
did.
here we go. This is called our Dear John segment.
Hi, honey. I'm home.
We should probably cut that
We
part.
probably that's pretty good.
Wow.
though. Actually, I like
Quality.
it.
Honey on home.
All right. Every week, you guys submit emails, faxes, text messages,
Because we do have a fax machine.
and John's going to get your questions, and he's going to answer them on the show. All right. So Lee, you want
right.
to go ahead and read the first?
So
Dear
this one
John?
comes in. Dear John, I'm a 20-year-old college student. I have never dated anyone besides my current boyfriend, Cody. He's my first ever boyfriend. I met him in high school, but we ran into each other in college and quickly began a relationship. Now we're in our 3rd year together. We have professed our love for each other. He never said I love you to any of his past girlfriends, and I'm happy he said it to me. My concern is that we talk like we'll be together forever. I think I'd be happy, but should I worry that I'll never know if there may be other guys I feel a stronger connection to, or if I have enough experience to know what love is? Just thinking, in Florida.
I think you're thinking too much. I think that the more options you have, the more opportunities you have to be disappointed. You found somebody, don't throw it away by thinking that there might be something else. You're already in your 3rd year of college and you've only dated one person. That means people aren't lining up to date you.
Oh, wow. Hot take coming out right there, baby. Run with what you got.
Hey, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, baby. So stop thinking.
Okay, that was pretty good. David, do you have any?
I got nothing.
Got nothing.
John's segment. I'm staying out of it from now on.
All right, so we
That
have
was
another one.
amazing. That was a good one. I like that one.
We have another one coming in. This one comes from Dear John. All children are beautiful to their parents. My 3 children are of mixed race and get a lot of attention because of it. The boys are aloof about random compliments they receive from strangers. However, I'm worried about the pressure it may put on my daughter to be pretty. I care more about my daughter's character than her looks, but I'm concerned that if I say that to these people, it will come off as rude. Also, I don't want her to think I don't think she's pretty. How can I respond in a way that isn't rude to well-intentioned strangers, but at the same time allows me to make a statement about the importance of character over beauty? From Mom of Beauties.
It should have been written from Blizzard, from where she's from, because this lady is the ultimate snowflake. I mean, you're complaining about people giving your kids compliments? You're an idiot.
Whoa! All right.
He pulled a Lee right there. He pulled a head. That was
Yeah,
good. That was a hot take.
There you go.
I'm
Okay.
Jay
sorry.
Moore, is that all for this week?
That's it.
All right, so
Hey.
how do they tell us how they can get those submissions into John to hear them? Those are good, man. Those
So
good
if you
stuff.
have a Dear John submission, be sure to send those to bybpod@gmail.com. That's
subject, Dear John.
subject Dear
Give
John.
them the email one more time.
bybpod.com.
bybpod
sorry.
at gmail.com. bybpod@gmail.com.
We'll get this together. We'll get it together one
That was
day.
good. That was John. That's very impressive. Much better than the first. Dear
So we
John.
got the B. You obviously can't find anything better, and
And you're a snowflake. And you're an
the
idiot.
idiot
That was a Lee.
rubbing off.
All right,
Yeah.
let's play a voicemail we got real quick. We'll give out the
Okay.
voicemail number as well. Here we go. This is from a fan of the show.
Hey, so it's Mandy from Little Geek Boss, and I'm here with my BFF Kat. Say hi, Kat. Hi, Kat. And we just wanted to call and say that we listen to your show, and we like the podcast, Blame Your Brother, because it's a super cool show.
And a certain Canadian needs some Oreos and a hat.
Yeah, so you should totally send me those Oreos because you owe them to me for the debt that Donald Trump became president, and I am not drunk at all.
Not at all. There you go. That was Mandy from Canada calling in that she likes the show. She listened to it. She said she's been listening now, and she enjoys it. And I owe her, she said months ago, like
Months.
probably a year and a half ago, that Donald Trump would be president. And I said there's no way that could happen in this country I live in. And we made a bet that I would have to send her some Oreos. So I will be sending some Oreos out to her this week. So there you go. Those Canadians, they knew what the future was. All right, so we got all of our topics knocked out. Was there anything we missed maybe that you want to talk about?
We do probably need to touch on the Super Bowl and T. Brady just real quick.
Oh, Super
We're
Bowl.
running up against the clock. but
Okay, here we go. Tom Brady is my favorite player.
You're getting a tattoo, right?
No,
On your butt cheek of
But
Tom Brady.
if I was a neck tattoo guy, I'd get Tom Brady on the back of my neck right there. number
Seriously, how
12.
much would it seriously cost for us for you to get a Tom?
I told you $10,000.
Can you lower that to a reasonable number that we could actually come up with?
$9,500?
No, seriously, like would you do it for $1K?
No.
Come on, man.
No, I just said no. I wouldn't do it.
Come on. I'll let you even get it wherever you want.
What about on your
Doesn't-
back?
doesn't have to
where
be on
people
your
can't
butt.
see
I'm
it?
going to clarify this one more time for you. Ready? $10,000
Not gonna happen.
Get you a spot. Well, never
Not
say
gonna
never.
happen.
I mean, the fans may come together and make
All
it
right.
happen.
Please, someone be wealthy, please.
if you don't know-
but if you get the $10,000, it's going on your butt cheek, and we get to pick the tattoo
within
reason.
within
It
reason,
would obviously
sure.
have to be Tom Brady themed, but I don't know if I want to do a full body or just his face. You know,
All right, if you can raise $10,000,
you will definitely get a tattoo on your butt cheek. of
yes,
Tom Brady.
$10,000. Yes,
All
100%.
Please, Lord.
Let some rich idiot be listening to the show.
Hey, so if everybody donates like $7 or $8 each,
We would have about $25. So anyway, I don't even know how the math works on that one, but
Let it be a Christmas miracle, Lord.
there's 3.5 people listening.
Anyway,
here's where we
Super
go
Bowl.
real quick. I'm looking forward to Super Bowl. I'm having it in my house, so if I know you, you're personally invited to come over, and I have to personally know you for you to come over. But that extends to anyone that listens, specifically those guys in the chat room. If you want to come over, you're invited. But I'm going to be rooting hard for Tom Brady. He's my favorite player. Besides Steve McNair, he's my favorite player in this era of football. And I love the guy. I think he's amazing. I think he's the best quarterback you've ever seen play the game. And I don't want to say, do I think they're going to win 100%? No. I think it's going to be a pretty close game. But I'm hoping God is on the side of the just and Tom Brady and the Patriots win. I'm predicting a 31-28 win by the Patriots. Lee, what you got?
I am just going to go against you because.
Shocker.
But here's the thing. I kind of.
Here's shocker there, guys. Hold on, guys.
Honestly, I hope that Tom Brady wins because I think it would be cool to have the most winningest quarterback in Super Bowl history. That's kind of cool. But at the same time, I know Atlanta Falcons fans, and it's such a weird team to like emerge. So they've had their chance, man.
Yeah.
And they're also cheaters. Let's not forget that.
No.
Big cheaters.
Untrue.
Deflategate.
Never proven.
Reading lips. Never proven.
Never proven.
Tom Brady had to sit out 4 games.
It was BS. It's not true. It's untrue though. It's unproven. So anyway, so who you think's gonna win? Just who do you think's gonna win? Not who you. Cheering.
Atlanta, 36-31.
All right, John, what you got?
If it was a regular season game, I'd say Atlanta. But when it comes to clutch, I got to give it to the Patriots. I think they got it.
What you got to score? I mean, like it matters. I mean, you could say anything about it. High scoring or low scoring?
I think it'll be a pretty tight score, but not super high.
Okay. So we got all Patriots winning. Looking forward to the food, the commercials. I'm looking forward to the Lady Gaga halftime show. You would imagine I don't like Lady Gaga, but I love Lady Gaga. I think she's amazing. I love a lot of,
love Lady Gaga.
If people met me, they would not think I like the artist I do, but I could care less about as an artist, as a performer. I could care less about your political views. I love Amy Schumer politically, disagree with everything she says. Lady Gaga, probably don't have a lot in common with her. But I love them as artists. Looking forward to that.
Well, I mean, you both have meat dresses.
That's
so,
true. I do have that one. I'm going to have to break it out. So I'm looking forward to that. What are you guys going to be doing on Super Bowl, Lee?
I don't know if I'm going to actually be watching it.
Okay. That's
this weekend?
Yeah, it's this Sunday.
Maybe.
All right. John,
I usually don't.
What are you going to be doing?
I'll be
go to work?
fading in and out of watching it because I'll have to get a little bit of sleep for work. But.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a fun guy. I love Super Bowl. It's one of my favorite days of the year. And it's also my son's birthday on Saturday. He turns. So the year he was born, I watched the Patriots lose to the Giants, and then he was born a few hours later on the following day. So always around Super Bowl, it's always his birthday. So that's pretty cool. All right. And we are watching right now on YouTube an old – it's funny when certain people tell Lee about commercials. They're great. It's an Old Spice commercial with a gorilla in it.
I played this for you, man. This is what the listeners wanted.
This is not that chimpanzee,
so
man.
This one doesn't make you happy.
No, the chimpanzee – I
had character.
I get it, man. But
wait, hold on. I'm watching this. I mean, I got to keep talking because people listen to podcasts. But
we didn't even talk about Hooters. That's a shame.
What about Hooters?
We were gonna nothing.
Go ahead, real quick.
We don't have time.
Quick
I
time.
think
we do.
Lee's trying to steal the misogyny award.
I mean, we're already over time, so who really cares at this point? But
let's just roll the.
Okay, here we go.
Roll the outro.
Blame your selfie. No, we got stuff to do. We got to blame your selfie.
You can't go without it.
All right, so we got Blame Your Selfie. Every week we encourage you, the listeners. We got some good ones this week. Go down a little bit because there's some that start with go down a little bit. Every week we encourage you, the listeners, to submit your selfies to us, and it happens during the week. And so what we do is, start up. There you go, stop. So what we do is we encourage you to submit your selfies. Use the hashtag #BlameYourSelfie. Hit us at BYBPod, and we will mention you on the show. So if you're a podcaster, you're selling a product, you got something you want to promote, hey, if you show Blame Your Selfie, we're going to put it on. We're going to mention it on the thing. And, so unless it's
free advertisement.
I mean, unless
send nudes.
We'll mention your birthday in a little bit, Sammy, on your selfie. All right, here we go. Our first selfie of the week comes to us from Bree. I think that's her name. It's Bree Poe. But Bree Poe is a listener of the show. She's engaged with us quite a bit, and she's trying to get one of our shirts to rock. And she actually submitted this picture with hashtag Blame Your Selfie with a big heart on it at BYBPod, and she is one of our favorite listeners for sure. She's one of our favorite fans. She's always, like I said, repping the brand, and she is a badass. So there we go. That kicked off the week for us, and then we move up. We got a couple of dudes. We got me at work. It's how's your Monday going? Show off your cubicle and use hashtag Blame Your Selfie. So
that coffee mug, though,
is the best. It is the highlight of life. Those are my two children.
We need to build a wall to protect my privileged kids.
I never said we need to build a wall to protect. We need to build a wall to keep illegals out. Just like
keep them illegals away from my privileged kids.
I just want to come back just real quick. So no driver's license. You're cool
I didn't
with that?
say anything. That was That was someone
No
else.
driver's license, Lee. You're cool with that?
I
Okay.
don't know.
So,
I
yeah.
haven't even thought about that. What is that a real question? What,
Yeah, I'm just
Are
asking.
you trying to like bait me into like
No, I just
an
curious.
ill-conceived argument?
Driver's license,
This
yeah,
is weird.
no. Okay, so
It's weird
anyways,
you would even say that.
This the graphic we used for the selfie was the best I've ever seen.
It's a little grainy. It has like 3 total pixels.
It's a dude taking a selfie with a selfie stick. He's on a hoverboard and a drone is flying behind him, and he's wearing VR glasses with
It's
a
the future,
DeLorean.
right?
All right, yeah. All right, so let's go up. All right, so then we got Katie right here with the selfie. Said hashtag blame your selfie. Today is a good day. And she's rocking a new dress. She's addicted to dresses. There you go. What can you
Thursdays
say about
are
Katie?
pretty
Katie
cool.
is in the top. I mean, she's in
give
the
us
top.
a number.
Top,
Oh,
she's in the top
You're
3.
in the just top. You're
top
just top.
3. You're
Just
one of our
top.
top 3 favorite selfie people.
Right,
I mean,
we're not going to go through that list, I guess.
I mean, I would if you asked. But anyway, all right, Marlon Mealer, a.k.a. Half Pint, is talking about coming down to the studio and drinking a little whiskey and getting into it with Lee. So we'll have to talk about that.
Whoa.
Have you been reading the
Hey.
YouTube chat here, man?
A little bit.
He wants
I
to.
don't-
Been all over it, man.
Seems a little violent. I do
All
like
over
that
it.
glass,
Oh,
though. I
he's-
really like that glass.
This guy's the anti-violent person. He's just gonna run his mouth.
I mean, I'll drink whiskey. That's fine. What
All
are you
right,
drinking
so
there?
Jameson's his drink.
Oh,
Hashtag
okay, that's good.
blame your selfie. Now back to your regularly drinking Half Pint. I think he stopped drinking for a while.
Okay.
The world can start making
Now
sense
he's
again.
back.
Hashtag blame the world. Half Pint's one. I mean, it's my boy. So yeah, we want to get him
Top
down here.
3? Everyone's top
no,
3.
no, he's-
oh, no.
Half Pint's not
You're
in the top,
my top
3.
3. You're in my top
Half
3.
Pint knows he's not in the top 3.
He knows.
He's
He knows
not-
in my top 3.
Okay. Michael, Anthony, Nicholas. It's Groundhog's Day, so I'm sending the same blame your selfie as last week. There you go. That's pretty clever. In all seriousness, we mourn Officer Eric Manow of the Nashville PD. So yeah, we talked about it at the beginning. All right, there we go. That's Michael, Anthony, Nicholas with the selfie, and then this is a funny one. Lee, why don't you read this one?
This comes from Jeffrey Skinner at Pizza Dad Lives. My hashtag blame your selfie protest for BYB pod since brother to blame and David of BYB can't decide which one really hates me more. I'm pretty sure we can decide, and it's
Lee.
this guy.
It's Lee.
No, it's you.
Yeah, it's Lee. You just pointed to
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah, you just did.
I did
So-
just say that.
Yeah,
and
you did.
pointed at you.
No.
Which, if you're only listening to the show, doesn't make much sense.
No, you point to
Fine.
yourself. It's weird.
You know what, Jeffrey Skinner?
Hashtag.
You know what?
Oh, here we go.
You're the problem with the world, brother.
There we go.
You need to post your selfie correctly.
Marlon said he hopes he's not in your top 3. Lee, stop
Oh,
being
wow.
creepy.
Okay.
He understands.
Sorry.
He understands
Not-
how he understands how the selfie game works.
Not in
So
the top
hashtag
3.
not my groundhog by Jeffrey Skinner. All right, let's go up a little bit to the next selfie. Here we go. Selfie of the week. Shadow of a doubt. Says I'm late to the blame your selfie party, but I love my new blame your brother T-shirt. You guys are the jam. She's rocking the green T-shirt, which Katie
green
did
is-
last week.
Yeah.
These chicks look great in green.
Yes,
like
yeah.
green's not my color, but all the girls so far that have worn green rocking it. So the green
Green
looks
is
great.
an awesome color.
So if you want to go get that shirt, the link's on bybpod.com. You're not going to look that good. You're not going to look as good as
Well,
Katie.
you might. It's worth a try.
Well, if you're a girl,
It's
you
worth a
will.
try.
If you're a girl, you will. If you're a dude, you're not going to look that good, okay?
No, that's not a misogynistic comment at all.
It's a reality. All right, so anyway, and then we got Lee's selfie. Long day hanging out with Punxsutawney Phil. Spoiler alert, he saw the shadow. 6 more weeks of winter. Blame your selfie. There's Lee. Made it out to, where's that at exactly?
Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
I wanted him to see if he'd trip up on that.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Ask him again.
All right. Where's that at again? In the
Where?
Groundhog's Day. Here's John, who seems to take one right before the show starts every week.
Only because I reminded him.
It's
by the way.
Thursday. How about that? Blame your selfie.
Well, John says he's got a lot of responsibilities as a parent, a new parent, so that's understandable.
Yeah.
So
We've got 2 kids. Anyways, we got some more. And then Sammy said, I wish we could call into the show. And I said maybe next week. Maybe we can take
Yeah,
a couple
I think
of
Here you
calls.
go, Sammy. Leave some voicemails.
How about the after
That's
show?
it.
We let them call in.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, you
we
want
could
to do
probably
it tonight?
do that
Okay.
right now.
Okay. After show, if you're listening, hang on the line. We'll let you call into the show.
I mean, yeah, hang on.
Sammy's
hang on the
birthday.
line.
Okay, so Sammy's birthday is on the 10th, which is
Next
Friday.
Friday.
Next
Yeah,
Friday. It's on the 10th. If you're in Nashville, come hang with us. Me and
Wait, I
Lee.
thought his birthday party was on the 11th.
Oh,
The 11th is Saturday.
I think it's on
The 10th is the Friday.
Oh my God, what day is it on? We're
Quality
doing terrible
radio.
here.
Quality.
Yeah, quality radio. Okay, his birthday is next weekend. If you want to go, message us. We'll get you details if you live in Nashville. I think it's going to be in Rivergate, some bar. So there you go. But Sammy's one of our faithful, and wish you could call into the show. There we go. So that's all of our selfies for this week. Remember, take a selfie. Use the hashtag #BlameYourSelfie. Tell your friends to do it. Get it on there. We'll push your product if you have it. All right, so we've come up to the end of the show, and, of course, before we come up to the end of the show, every week, what we try to do, guys, this is what we try to do. We try to impart a little bit. I don't know what you we try to.
I got the keys, man.
I got the keys,
We
baby.
try to impart a little bit of wisdom into your life with a little segment we call.
So let me give you a major key.
Where is the key?
There's another key. I want the key.
Give us the keys. So let me give you a major key.
Then I really do have the key.
Everybody stand up right now. Everybody. I got the keys now.
That's right. It's time for the major key of the week.
He gets me every time when he says stand up. You guys don't even stand
and
up.
deliver. I did last. Oh, I think you did last week.
I
Okay.
did it again.
Every
Aaron.
week, Lee, Mr. Snowflake, John, Mr. PTI, they come together and they give you guys. I mean,
That's not even true.
I could give you a million.
It's not even true.
It is.
No, because look at episode 23.
When you guys don't deliver, I have to step up. I'm like a pinch hitter. But for the most part, the Snowflake and PTI come together. The Madman and the Snowflake. They come together.
Oh, man.
Because I could give you keys for the rest of your life. I could just.
But your keys are lame.
No, they could start recording now. I could talk forever. I got to give these guys.
That part is true. He could talk forever.
I got to breathe. I got to give these guys a chance to talk. Guys, what do you think of Major Key? John's wife said he already imparted one, but she can't remember what it was.
I loved the one that was the Dear John about.
What did he say?
If you're ugly,
I never said.
Take what you can.
I never said if you're ugly.
What was his exact word? What did you say?
I said if you're spending your third year in college and you've only been with one person, chances are they're not knocking down your door.
So, I don't know. I think I can't. I think that needs to be incorporated in there somewhere, but I don't know.
Mics are on. What you got?
Yeah, I don't know, John.
What did my wife stay on to?
She said she didn't remember. It was something about Charles Barkley.
Oh, I was just thinking, don't be a crybaby.
Don't be a crybaby.
Don't be a crybaby.
There you go. So it looks like we got a major key of the week. It's don't be a crybaby, and it's our major key.
Don't do it.
Of the week.
Let me give you a major key.
And you really do have the key.
Everybody stand up right now. Everybody. I got the keys now.
All right, there you go. Major key of the week. Don't be a crybaby. All right, guys, we had a lot of fun. Oh, talking to you today. I'm falling apart here.
I can't update it.
Episode 27 is here. It's in the books. And like we said, find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn. Probably already know that if you're listening by now. But who knows? Maybe you don't. And go leave us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. You got to make sure to go to bybpod.com. That's our website. Check it out. Go purchase all your stuff at Amazon through our affiliate link. Listen every Thursday at Radio Vegas Rocks. Go to radiovegas.rocks. On Twitter at BYBpod. On Facebook, facebook.com/BYBpod. And subscribe on YouTube. Engage with us on every Thursday. YouTube.com/blameyourbrother.
We love it.
All right. So I guess with that being said, is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.
All right. So what are you killing the stream right now? Or are we still going?
It's still going.
All right. We're